welcome back to A Window to the North. My name is Sarah and I am an expat coach as well as an expat myself. So I am originally German, but I live in Sweden. I have lived in total 7 countries in 3 continents over the course of my life. I now have spent the majority of my life actually living abroad instead of in Germany, and I'm very passionate about this the possibility, the idea of living abroad, of moving abroad, of experiencing different cultures, and shaping a life that you like wherever it is that you want to be. And as such, I'm having this YouTube channel to inspire more of you to dare to take that step, which I understand is quite scary in the beginning. And today I want to talk about 5 things that you should do or that you need to take care of before moving abroad. So let's say you've taken the step, you've taken the leap, you have decided you're going to move abroad. What are 5 things that you really should take care of before you actually move? Let me apologize for the glare out here. It's been snowing again after we've already had a few tastes of spring. Now winter is back, and at the same time the sun is shining really bright today, and the reflection of it all, well, if some of you have an idea of how to fix it, other than to pull the blinds, because I really miss the sun, let me know in the comments. So anyways, if you would like to connect with me and know more about what I'm doing, particularly here in Sweden, I have a blog called A Window to the North. I'll link it down below, which deals more with expert information when moving to Sweden, tips and tricks around Stockholm, getting used to life in Sweden and so forth, step by the blog, or why not follow me on Instagram, which is the same handle, A Window to the North. But let's get right into things now. Number 1 of what you need to take care of that is super important when you're about to move abroad is health insurance. Actually, quite often when you apply for a visa or when you want to enter the country, you need to prove that you have health insurance. Here in Sweden, for example, if you come to Sweden as a student, you will have to prove valid health insurance because you are not going to be insured via the public health insurance system. Nevertheless, even if it is not a requirement for your visa or your residency, please take care and make sure that you have proper health insurance. The reason is, even if you feel like you're a healthy person, even if you feel that you're a careful person, you're not into extreme sports or whatever, you can always get sick. You could get run over by a car through no fault of your own. You could get a really bad flu. You could fall off a chair and twist an ankle. There's lots of weird things that can happen that require medical attention, and you don't want to be stuck paying those bills without having health insurance. If you're watching from somewhere in the EU and you're planning to move to another country within the EU, you are covered by the little blue health insurance card that is valid all over the EU and enables you to get healthcare at the same cost and in the same way that the locals of your chosen country do. Let me give you an example. I moved to the US as an exchange student. I lived in Flagstaff in Arizona, which is, quite far up the mountain, and I did not have proper health insurance. I moved without proper health insurance. Yes, I know, really stupid, but that's why I'm doing this channel, why I'm having this channel, why I'm sharing these tips with you, so you don't make the same mistakes as I do. I did not have proper health insurance and I got sick. I got I got some form of asthma, bronchospasm it's called, because I could not deal with the dry desert air and the cold weather shifts. Up in Flagstaff it actually does snow from time to time, but you still have the weather of the desert, the dryness of the desert, and I got a really nasty airway infection that resulted in asthma-like symptoms, and I did not have health insurance. I ended up I could go to the university nurse. That helped me a little bit, but I would have really been very happy if I could have actually gone and seen a proper doctor, but I couldn't afford it, and I do not, or did already at that point, did not have family that could support me. So there I was, stuck in a country that, wasn't my own, sick, and my only option was the university nurse. Get health insurance. In general, not only health insurance, but make sure all your paperwork is in order, that you have all the paperwork required to enter the country. Make sure that your passport is, valid long enough, that you have triple copies of everything digitally and in your suitcase and on your person and whatever. There would be nothing more frustrating than being at the border to your chosen country, being at the doorstep to your new life and not being left in just because, you know, something, there's a wrong signature, a missing signature, a date is wrong, whatever. So make sure you have everything in order. Number 2, make sure you have access to your money. Even if you move abroad for a job, for example, so you will have regular income, make sure that you have easy access to your bank account back home. Be that through a debit credit card that does not charge fees that will leave you broke. Be that through an international bank account, I will link one down below. Be that through setting up certain money transfer accounts. Do not use Western Union, again, that will leave you broke. Make sure that you have access to your money back at home, to your bank account back at home, that you have possibility to transfer money back and forth easily when you need it, and be sure that you have an emergency fund, an emergency cushion should things go wrong, should you want to move apartment, should you need to fly home unexpectedly for some emergency reason, or you know, maybe you just don't like where you are, you don't want to stay and you want to be home. Make sure you have a possibility to have access to money that will take you out of a situation if you need so, because particularly in the beginning, you will not have the same kind of support system around you that you have at home. So even more important that at least you are in a position where you yourself can take yourself out of a pickle. Number 3, make sure your electronics work. I don't know if you know that, but not all countries, first of all, have the same electricity plugs, the same electricity outlets, and also not all countries have the same voltage, the same current coming out of the electricity outlet. So you need to make sure that you have a travel adapter. You can technically buy those at the airport or in your chosen country, but I for one always like to have at least one with me when traveling. There are universal ones where you can like pick and plug out different power outlet adapter thingamajiggies. Oh, I'm sorry, this is so bad. Anyways, I'll link one down below so you know what I mean. I like to have one before I travel so that I at least have one that I can switch and I don't need to stress about finding a place or a way to load my essential electronic gear, and then I usually stock up with one or two at my destination. And again, when it comes to power output, to voltage, make sure that your electronics actually can take the power that is put out. Otherwise, you need to buy a transformer. I know, for example, somebody that moved to Dubai on an internship, an old university colleague of mine, and he had a big hard drive that he had stored everything on, his movies, his music, and what else, and he plugged it into the wall and it made zzzt, and the thing was broken, everything was gone, because the hard drive was fried. So yeah, these are things that you should consider. Typically the power output is, you can find it of your chosen country, you can Google it, you can find it in travel guides and so on. Number 4, check cellular coverage. Check if your mobile provider allows you to make calls from abroad. Generally, once you are abroad, I would recommend that one of the first things that you do is actually go and buy a local prepaid SIM card, but nonetheless, you probably want to be able to make a few calls before that for emergency reasons, to let your family know that you've arrived safe, and that way you don't, and also so you can be reached, so you can be called if need be. So make sure and check if that is the case, and if you have cellular coverage wherever you're going with your current phone provider. Okay, before I give you the last tip, let me know down in the comments if you are pumped to move abroad and which one is your favorite tip. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and to subscribe. And then let's move on to, in my opinion, the most important thing, or the thing that will give you the most peace of mind. Number 5, get a proper health check before a thorough health check before you move abroad. This also goes for countries that have great healthcare, and I know, for example, that there is such a thing as healthcare tourism, meaning that, you know, people even travel to places abroad to get healthcare because it is of high quality but a lot cheaper than back home. But hear me out. If you move abroad and you're there not only for a few weeks, but you're there to build a new life, you're going to be busy and overwhelmed by the culture, by your new job situation, or you're studying or whatever you chose to move abroad, and then you get sick. And then on top of everything, you have to navigate a healthcare system that you are not familiar with. You're feeling, you know, like crap. So you're probably more vulnerable, you feel lonely, and now you have to figure out where to find a doctor whatsoever. So get a proper health checkup before you leave. I mean, you can still get sick, but at least then you are aware that there are no, you know, underlying problems that need to be taken care of. Same as get a dental check. I mean, you know, again, personally, I am quite scared of dentists, and I find that is already a very vulnerable situation, having to do so in a different country, you know, not speaking the language, or running around with a toothache, not knowing how to get a dentist appointment is just one stress moment that you can save. But even more important than getting a health checkup is that should you be on any kind of prescription medication, get it refilled, get it fully filled up, and check with your doctor if what you are taking is available in your new country of choice. If he needs to write down your medical history so that you can show it to your new doctor once you are in your new country. And please, please, please check if you are allowed legally to take your medication to your new country, because many countries have certain drug restrictions, medication restriction, particularly if you are, for example, coming from the US. Many European countries are a lot more stricter, and a lot of medication that is allowed in the US is actually forbidden in Europe. So check, can you take with you what you are on right now? B, if you can, what are the requirements? What do you need a doctor's note, or what are the requirements for getting it through customs, so that you don't end up with, you know, charges for drug smuggling, because that's some really serious stuff. Okay, these are my tips for today. I hope you enjoyed them. Thumbs up, subscribe below, connect with me on Instagram. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope I can motivate you to take the leap, start your new life, move abroad for a little while, for a long while. Let me know, and I'll hope to see you here next week. Bye bye.